or to broaden it, introducing kids to business early. So as we go along, I don't know what everyone's early is. Some people who have thought better than most of us, like Rihanna, will know as soon as the child is born, they must be bankable. So, but yes, early. What is it to train young people as early as possible into business? I'll say a little bit about JA Uganda. Junior Achievement Uganda empowers youth for success in the global economy. And we pride ourselves in being a leading global NGO focused on taking youth social and economic challenges, tackling youth social and economic challenges. And we do this through providing cutting edge experiential learning in financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship skills. And we do expand the horizon of the students' minds, enabling them to shape their future with confidence. And together we build stronger foundation for families, communities, and economies. So I put this into a question. Is there a need for early entrepreneurship education? And has anyone done it? Is it within our power to train the next generation? Is it our siblings, children in your community? Is it possible to give them that entrepreneurship education, or what we call today the entrepreneurship mindset? So I know that a lot of us here are already entrepreneurs, and most of us know what entrepreneurship is, but for the benefits of those who might have joined in fresh and wanted to learn something new, because I'll lose my example. I always wished somebody could teach me about business. Always. When I left campus, my need was like even to find, I think the person I ended up with was because I wanted to find someone who can teach me about business. I don't know why that was imprinted on my mind, but I always knew I wanted to learn about business. For the benefit of that kind of person, I'm just going to read it as I wrote it, and just for sharing purposes. Entrepreneurship is the process of identifying, developing, and managing a business or idea to generate value, solve a problem, or meet market needs. So knowing that, we know that it also involves taking risks, being innovative, and using available resources to create and grow a venture. Entrepreneurs are usually individuals who take the initiative to start and run businesses. They play a key role in driving economic growth by introducing new products, services, and job opportunities. Martin Luwamahaya, see you there. That's one of our alumni. Just go back to the last slide. Yeah. So just taking that background of what we know about entrepreneurship, the feeling is that entrepreneurs born or made. Many times we don't know the stories of entrepreneurs, but when you ask, say, Mr. Birungi of Movit, he will tell you, oh, my mother used to sell cosmetics. And, so you wonder, through the mother's selling cosmetics, did the bag bite? That's a question as we keep going. Okay, next slide. So I also put out a few key aspects of entrepreneurship: innovation, creating new ideas of products or services, risk-taking, the willingness to take financial and strategic risks. One of the other aspects is problem solving, identifying challenges and finding solutions, business management, organizing resources, making decisions and ensuring growth. Then another key aspect is value creation, creating benefits for customers and society. So types of entrepreneurship. I thought about, I also will put it out that the types of entrepreneurship include small businesses or startups, independent ventures that drive innovation. Then there's what we call social enterprise, like Enterprise Uganda, like Junior Achievement Uganda, businesses with a social impacts mission. Businesses started out of a social need. The overarching idea is to solve a social problem, yet make some money while at it. Then there's what we call corporate entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship. And this is where employees innovate within an existing company, developing new ideas, products, or services. I want to delve deeply into this because I am not oblivious to the fact that many of us as Ugandans grew up knowing that we are going to go to school and get a job. So as mothers again, and fathers and parents and big sisters, we are taking our children at school to get a job, to be able to manage. We all look at winning in the world as shining job when I get a job. So corporate entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship, what are some of the key features on corporate entrepreneurship? Going back to the question, are entrepreneurs made or bored? That is innovation within a company. Employees develop new business ideas, technologies, or process, within a company. Then taking risks. Companies invest resources into new ventures while managing risks. Proactiveness. Organizations anticipate market trends and adapt before competitors. Autonomy. Employees are given the freedom to experiment and drive new initiatives. Then there's also competitive advantage, which helps businesses stay ahead, constantly evolving. Why am I bringing this up? I'm trying to make a case of, do you realize that even as we are thinking that our children should go and get a job, should go and manage living in this world successfully, there's a need for them to have some of these features inbuilt within them, because even when they go to be part of a business, chances are they might come through into a business as an innovator on a creative idea. They might be a part of, say, MTN when they are offering a service that is new and needed in MTN. Considering that currently there are no jobs, we really need to focus on so many things about our young people. I wanted also to give examples of corporate entrepreneurship, and coming to Uganda, MTN Uganda launched Momo Pay and fintech, a lot of fintech innovations. Stanbic Bank created a business incubator for SMEs. Uganda Breweries developed a local raw material sourcing strategy. Rocket Health pioneered telemedicine services. Safe Border expanded into digital payment and deliveries. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this stays in our mind as we go on to continue with our presentation, as we delve into the key aspects. So the key aspect today, why is it important to introduce kids to early entrepreneurship? Again, I'll go back to our question. Are entrepreneurs born or made? Maybe you can share in the chat of what you think so far of that statement. Entrepreneurs, are they born or made? Feel free to share something in the chat and let's learn together. So I will come to our story as Junior Achievement. Junior Achievement was founded in 1919 by Theodore Vail, the president of American Telephone and Telegraph, Horace Moses, president of Strathmore Paper Company, and Senator Maury Crane of Massachusetts. These businessmen looked and wondered what will happen to the young generation if they were gone. And they curated what we call our capstone program, the JA Company program. We pride in the JA Company program. Some of its materials have evolved. This is our current manual. I don't know if they can see it. Trisha, you need to tell us. This is our current manual that is being turned into this one, the new manual for supporting young people. And the new one has got lots of new things like AI, artificial intelligence, of course, circular economy and sustainability, digital media and creation, the current things, but still keeping the original manual as the company program. Currently, it has been enhanced with project management skills. And as JA Uganda, we are looking at having the URA, the URSB, the banking community all share. Because later when I share about the company program, you realize how it supports young people learning at school. And also we are glad to know that the curriculum, the new curriculum, the pedagogy method, that word, I hope I pronounce it well, has focused now more not on rote learning where students are cramming concepts, but rather to encourage critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, teamwork, communication, information literacy, ICT, flexibility, name it. That's the current state even of Uganda as we train our young people now in the lower curriculum, in the lower secondary curriculum, which is going to, of course, get to the A level as well. So, but what's our mission and vision? Our mission is to inspire and prepare Uganda's youth to succeed in the global economy. And of course, the vision is a world in which Uganda's youth have this skill set and mindsets to build thriving communities. Mindset to build thriving communities. Okay, so we will keep going. Trisha, the next slide. So I'll still continue to make the need for early entrepreneurship education. Yeah, I see you. Welike, David, you say they're both made, but believe the final step is making because through the making. Okay. So 60% of today's kids will work in jobs that don't yet exist. That's according to the World Economic Forum. And also there's a study showing that 41%, there's a research showing that 41% of Gen Zs aspire to be entrepreneurs, according to Gallup. And like I told you, I'm a child of God and thrive in it and always guided by principles of the Bible. If we go back to Proverbs 22:6, they say, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. This is the ancient word, ever true. God in his amazingness left a lot of wisdom. So if it says that we can train up a child in the way we want them to go, and we've seen it, that at home we've learned how to be kind, we've learned how to be respectful, we've learned how to be prayerful. We've learned a lot from home, how to be clean, how to be everything. What you don't learn from home, the world teaches you in a rough way. And most of us have had a rough way of that when it comes to business. Because as much as we learn so many concepts from home, so many skills from home, it wasn't keen for our parents to teach us about entrepreneurship for most of us. You know, I'm just taking up a huge, the majority. So, but early entrepreneurship education, basing on that verse, as we go ahead, we'll bring it all back, Proverbs 22:6. And then also one of my verses that guides me, Psalms 127:4. Like arrows in the hand of a warrior are the children of one's youth. He used as a metaphor of arrows to symbolize children as powerful, purposeful, and potentially impactful instruments in a person's life. And I put a quote from Peter Drucker, the father of business management, that entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art. It is a practice. Meaning, just like we practice hygiene, just like we practice good manners, because if a child has no manners and there's no practice at home, that can show when they come to the world. I had the opportunity to share a picture of my 5. I have 5 children. The first one is 25, second 21, third is 18. That's a picture when they were young. I had them in one place, but now school and they are not in one place. So I haven't yet had the opportunity to take one other picture. But 25, 21, 18, 16, and 8. We changed. And I know it is important for me to share because sometimes we talk about what we don't do, but the topic today is something that is not just the job I do, but also as a parent, I do this. This is also to give confidence to the parents in the room, in the virtual room today. Okay, Trisha, let's go on. How do we introduce kids to business? Let's get into the real meat. We need to have a way of encouraging them to be creative and solve problems. Very many times as parents, we are quick to think that everything is on us. But yes, everything is on us, but together with our children, as we are training them, how do you want to train their problem solving? If they come up with a problem to you, if they come with a challenge to you, how do you encourage them in solving it? Or how do you point them to being creative in solving that problem? Teach financial literacy. Like we had said, if the things that we learned at home include learning how to save, learning how to spend, donating. We have a program called Chaching. I'll share about it later in one of the slides, and you'll hear what it does for young people. Then encourage small business ideas. Sometimes we want to do something as a family. It could be that the year has started, but at Christmas time, we want to go to Maxton Falls, say to visit the park. Can we involve the children and tell them, everybody come up, think out of the box? Some people live on apartments and they're maids looking after babies, but there could be a chance for your child to babysit, say. But if we don't get them into that idea of the mindset, to think that, oh, we have this aim, can we work as a family, get to this goal? It looks like ambiguous, but it has been done by many people. If anyone has done it, please share in the chat so that I don't look like I'm talking about rocket science. Then teach responsibility through chores and earnings. I'll tell you that one of my 18-year-old is my stylist at home. Simple thing. You're at home, please take care of my wardrobe every day. So she understands that she'll know what I'm doing for the day. Like today, she knew I was coming here. She's like, no, that colors. Then she'll give me what to wear. But this is a job elsewhere in the world where people are making big money, where some of the stars like Kim Kardashian got to introduce to the world through being stylists. So sometimes you see a child in the family and they are able to do a certain thing. Can you find a way of developing it? How do we do as parents? Basing on Psalms 127:4, there are arrows in our hands and our Proverbs verse. How do we train them up? Because when we train them up, they don't depart. So teaching responsibility through chores and earnings. For being a stylist, I pay her 5,000 a day. It's a lot, yes, but she doesn't because then that's money for her to be with her. Whenever she has to do things, I am not involved. She'll just tell me and she has her budget ready. So let me go into our programs. At JA, our programs are in three major content. One is the content on entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness. Under entrepreneurship, we have what we call the company program, the one I showed you earlier, the capstone program. Capstone program, company program. This program allows young people within schools. We've done this program since the year 2008. And some of the alumni are on the group, I hope. Please say hello. Some of those that we started with as early as 2008. It's a program where they learn about business from school. They create a mini company of say 5 to 10 people. It's a practice, to learn it's made a mini company. Then they can say, for instance, yearly JA company or Ayocha JA company. And then we teach them, we take them through part of the materials we use, allow them to go through, it's about, 12 sessions where they will learn about what entrepreneurship is, what's in the name, how do they apply for jobs, because we give them a job application. How do they capitalize their business in school? And it runs between now this term and next term before they come to a competition. Lately, we have enhanced it with having a theme so that we direct their thinking towards solving a specific problem. So that's the company program. This company program we do across Uganda and Africa and the rest of the world as Junior Achievement. So when we finish, high patience, I see you. When we finish the company program in school, they are able to come and compete with their friends, and usually from across the country. And then the winning team represents us at the Junior Achievement Africa Expo, where other young people in other JA participating countries come and compete. Last year, we had our competition in Mauritius, and we were represented by Saint Sacred Heart Kitedede from Masaka, who won last year's competition. And they represented us ably in Mauritius. And this year we will again have a competition, our Africa competition in Abuja, Nigeria. But that is after they have gone through the program for 6 months to learn project management, to learn about, banking, all these things as they do, they are practically doing. We have our managing director there, head of production. They have the leadership team and it's working. So it's session by session. Then there's what we call It's Time. It's Time is for the out of school youth, because out of school youth also needs, COVID took a lot of young people out of school. So, and then we can't also leave them behind because we are all young people, inclusivity. Then JAD, the Junior Achievement Digital Entrepreneurship Program is one that equips young people who are not able maybe to attend the company program or who have attended the company program but want to deepen their knowledge. It's online, self-paced. Even when you go now as you can do the program and it's all free. And of course, we have the social equity program. That one has run, it's in its 3rd year running, sponsored by Z Zurich. And it's now deeper for older young people in tertiary institutions. Then for financial literacy, we have one of my favorite program, Chaching. We do it across, it's a program that was started with Junior Achievement Asia, and Chaching is to symbolize the sound a coin makes, the sound that the money machine makes, but it teaches them about where money comes from. Tell me, where does money come from? Do your children know? Do they know where money comes from? It has a beautiful song and cartoons. Tell me, where does money come from? And beautiful materials also to teach them, inclusive of a board game, and scenarios of what happens in real life, and ways to save. But anyway, the components are 3 that we must teach our young people that how do we earn? It has its own money too. I mean, the components are 4. It's such a huge mistake. Components are 4. It even has money, in denominations of 5, 10, and 50. It teaches them, how do you earn? How do we earn? How do we earn the money? Because that's where money comes from. It comes from earning. Then what do we do when we earn it? save first, save. And we teach them. Of course, there are so many materials to learn that. They will have some, they start to understand what a need and a want is through the program. Very interesting. 6 sessions, powerful sessions, and sponsored by Prudence Foundation, the Prudential arm of giving. And then, of course, we teach them to spend after saving. And then, of course, responsible spending. And then we have the 4th component of donate. Who are those in need? And when are we able to give something to others? And throw in Chimweche Kumi also as well, to help things running. Okay. So we have the Chaching Money Show and a host of other programs depending on the region where JA is. But for Uganda, those are the programs we do. Then for work readiness, we have the Job Shadow. This one allows young people to come in at your workplaces and share that day with you. If I had a job shadow person today, young person today, they would be seated here with me right here, supporting me, learning, knowing they would prepare this presentation with me. They would do everything with me. It's not a lecture, but it's a day of doing exactly what I'm doing with me. If I have to send an email, you send it with me. You draft it, I correct you, then we send it. If we have to go into a meeting, we go together, And then we have what we call the innovation camp. The innovation camp is always a problem solving, critical thinking, creativity kind of program where we find a real life challenge, and we give it to students and get their knowledge. We get them thinking, we get them saying, we get them building, we get them doing what they have to do. All right. So those are some of the programs through which we have learned that it is possible to train young people. And some of us success stories. Oh, okay. I picked from the world that it's possible that young people build businesses. I don't know if you've all heard of Mosiah Bridges, Mosbo. He started a bow tie business at the age of 9. Michaela Armour, Me and the Bees Lemonade, built a lemonade empire at 4 years old. All of this might look like, but it's someone coming up. I mean, we have these children within our homes who are not regular to be, to come from my real world of happiness, who have already inbuilt skills that you see, but perhaps don't pay attention to. And I'm proud to also write about our alumni, Edwin Lusiva, Dawn Patrick Bujingo, Linda Beja, Stephen Ainaitwi, and all these entrepreneurs that employ young people. Andrew started the paper bag business. Wow, Estelle, you've met you should ask them about JA. Even Boris Mugisha of Tuvayo. So these young people were awakened in school when we introduced the company program. For Dawn and Edwin, they were in the same group and at St. Mary's Kisuli when they did the program. And that year they won the company program, the one I told you about, our capstone program, and were able to take them to represent Uganda in Ghana, in Accra, Ghana. And the learning first trip, 2011, first trip to Accra, and learning and seeing other young people. It's different when our young people learn that other young people, even younger than them, perhaps 17 or 16, they're doing great things out there. The mindset changes. Andrew Mupia is still in his paper bag business since 2008 when he started. Yeah, so the best way, Peter Daka says, and I'll say that I'll bring him out again, that the best way to predict the future is to create it. That picture I have shared includes we were at an alumni event, and we were hosting the rest of JA alumni, JA Africa alumni from all the JA African countries. So Nigeria is in there, Mauritius, Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya. Yeah. So let's go. Next slide. So anyway, what's our ask? Are you a parent? There's need for you to reach out, understand your child, take time to know what is more that my child can do. Because as parents, we make the demand. These days, as parents, we are demanding the A's, the D1s. Can we demand both A and creativity and critical thinking and collaboration and teamwork? As parents, are we able to guide our students knowing that there will be the company program? Did they join? Are we upbeat and asking these questions of ourselves as parents and not having our young adults in the house just studying and not creating and learning? Then as teachers, when allow young people to participate, of course, because we bring these programs to schools for free. Of course, we can't do all schools, but with a little support and collaboration, we could do more through the teachers and through the schools. And then for the rest of us, we need mentors to support. Every one of the Junior Achievement Program needs a mentor, needs a volunteer, because most of the teachers do not know about business. So the business people of today, can we also give the young people the knowledge that we need to give them to support their learning on business, especially on the company program? It can be brought to you as a church. It can be, as JA, we have no problem reaching to, when you reach out to us, to come to you. If you've come to us, then we meet each other halfway. You bring the resources, and I mean, we have the materials, you do the sitting and having the young people, and we come and train and give this knowledge. We really don't keep it to ourselves, because it's meant to reach as many young people as possible. Because when we reach a very minimal, a very small number of young people, then we haven't reached many. And even as a group, as a Rotary Club, I don't know where you are and young people are, we are able. Then, yes, of course, partner with JA to introduce kids to business and through early programs. And then also try to foster a culture of innovation and resilience within our young people. It's exciting to see that picture. I'll say that as Junior Achievement, we have had global recognition. We've been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize from 2022 to date, and we hope this year we are winning it. And then we've also been ranked among the top 10 social good organizations in the world 6 years in a row. And then also first company-based workplace for innovation by World Economic Forum. We made the list. Yes, that's who we are. And that's what I had to share. So like I said, that I have young people in my home. I'm just sharing a flyer of one of them who told me, she's my 16-year-old. Told me, Mommy, now that you're going to talk to people, can you share about my business? She sells original ceramics. And through my network and her own network of school friends, just to help her learn pricing, help her learn creativity, sales, all the things, the good things that we can learn out of entrepreneurship. Yes, thank you very much. I am hoping I used my 30 minutes. Caramex is that picture. Someone is asking, Rizette is asking, what is Caramex? Maybe you take it back when she sees. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Rosemary, over to you.
Oh, thank you
I am
so much,
more space
Rachel.
for the interaction.
Thank you so much. That was extremely powerful. The sharing, you really, really touched on this. I like how you start off with that the scripture that you quoted, which is very relevant even in life. Train up your child in the way you want them to go, and they will actually be. Yes, and so yes,
but that's,
and as you kept sharing, there are so many comments, and you have so many alumni on the group. people who are testing to the power of training them up as young people. And you even have those who are now rolling out. They are now also rolling out to others, you know, sharing what they received. But yes, you emphasize the need to encouraging our children to do small business ideas. And I think that speaks to all of us as parents, you know, because we suffered as we grew up, but there's a tendency for us to now, because we suffered, our children don't have to suffer, you know, and so we keep our children from doing some of the household chores and then paying them for that. And so I like that you've emphasized that we need to encourage our children. Personally, I did the same. My children are now very old, but when they were young, I started that way. I trained, they did business, they used their hands to create, because I'm creative and my kids are creative too. So they made Christmas cards and would sell them, and each one earned money. They did all kinds of things to sell. They used their hands, and today they actually they're in employment, but they're also doing business, because I began when we were still young to involve them. I paid them to wash cars. My sons, they wash cars, I pay them. So it's 5,000 every week, and they wash like 4 times in a week, but it's money. Yes, and so I also like someone in the group has said, our children are good with technology. You mentioned that our children have talent. We have talents in our home, in our home. So how do we get our children to be, how do we awaken that talent? How do we call out that talent early enough for our children to be able to, you know, embrace that talent and realize that talent can be translated into money, and because they are passionate about it, they're able to make money out of it. So I really like the programs you've shared, you know, on entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and work readiness. Yes, I think that those are all very critical. Back to your question, and you asked a quick question, a key question at the start, and it was amazing to see the mixed reaction of responses in terms of entrepreneurs born or entrepreneurs made. Some people were saying they're made, others were saying no, entrepreneurs are born. And my take to this, and that's why Enterprise Uganda is in existence. We believe that entrepreneurship is nurtured through association. So you're made, you are trained, you are exposed, you are allowed to practice entrepreneurship. And so anybody can be an entrepreneur. And most of the successful entrepreneurs we've seen were not necessarily born entrepreneurs. They didn't have, their fathers were not entrepreneurs. They didn't have any entrepreneurs in their generation. They are the first line entrepreneurs. However, they got knowledge, they trained, they were exposed, they connected to the right networks. And so they are associated. And that's why we are saying, I think this topic today, Racheal, is so powerful. We want our children to associate with entrepreneurship, to get comfortable with money, to understand what it means to make money. Because the closest we get to entrepreneurship for our children is to say, have a piggy bank, you know, just throw in a coin. But that's one side of it. So we need to give them that balanced outlook to say, throw in the money, yes, but how does that money come? Understanding money. And so thank you so much, Racheal. There are so many questions in the group, and I'll just read out those that I can see now, and then you respond to those. Then we take another round. So members, I'm sure you're as excited as myself. So please post your questions in the chat group, and Racheal will take them. So Racheal, there's a question from Rosette Nalugonda. She says, how do we handle situations where a child proposed a small business that I feel is not achievable or may not have customers? That's a very good question from Rosette.
Yes.
And then Moses Mugisha is saying, a quick question. What age limit are we looking at? I think what age limit in terms of the lower level? At what age do you begin to introduce your child into business? And then Boaz is asking, how do you monitor if the child is coping or learning? Boaz, maybe you need to clarify. That seems to be part 2 of your question. But yeah, so how do you monitor?
The child is learning.
Yes. Let me look at Emmanuel is saying, why hasn't this program been rolled out in schools outside the national curriculum? Could you open up participation for those as well on the Cambridge curriculum? So, yeah, so I think that's also a good question for you to respond to. yeah, basically there's good response by saying, we need this program. And so Racheal, you're going to probably have to follow up. We shall have all these contacts.
Yes.
You may need to follow up some of, and then we have a compliment from a young person here who says, hello, Patience Alaso here. I did a program in high school and deep dived in it at MOOCs as well through the social equity program. So very, 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 very interesting. Tom Okwi wants you I would really love you to come lecture at campus. The young people need this gospel. So there's really good response. So I think just take those questions, and members, keep posting more questions, and then at the second round, Racheal can respond. So Racheal, please respond to these questions here.
Okay. All right, I'll go. Thank you very much, Rosemary. And I like that I'm preaching to the converted, and especially that as moderator, you understand this as well, because if you didn't, the questions from you would also be strange. So somebody's saying, age limit, what is the age limit are we looking at? Honestly, I'll say that this is not a dictation by anyone. It comes from you as a parent, because we might think that our children are too, what are we talking about? Or when we talk about entrepreneurship among young people, we are talking about the ability for us, like we train kindness, like we train good manners, the ability for us to create that mindset. So yes, we can start as early as when we want to start, because how do you lead somebody into entrepreneurship mindset? Just by having your young person understanding maybe what you do, how you do it. You've seen in movies or in documentaries where someone went to the farm with their baby, say, toddler, for instance, and then as they are milking the cows to sell the milk, they are teaching this young person also how to milk. And then they make sure that when they are maybe doing the selling, they are also showing them how to. So it really won't depend on who somebody will, what I say or what anyone will tell you. It will really depend on what is within you as a parent. Because you can start, some of us are here today and are hearing about this for the first time, that, wait a minute, I could have taught my child to learn this skill. And you can start from there if that's what is imprinted on your heart. At JA, especially in JA Worldwide, they have programs from as early as kindergarten, pre-K in US. But because it has been around since 1919, over 100 years, programs have evolved that they teach the young people. So many of them are our alumni. Even when they are visiting here, we get a lot of people visiting because they were alumni of JA. And then they are looking for JA in Uganda, because when they ask JA Worldwide, they'll simply connect them to us. But the start can be as early as possible, because once you even from training about wastage, don't let the lights on, because that takes away money from us, and they are learning about money. So it depends. Is it financial literacy? Is it work readiness? Is it entrepreneurship? It's three things in one. So because they can learn about money as early as we want them to, and they can learn about work as early as we want them to. Because I always tell kids, we get a pet at home, a cat, a kitten, and within no time it has learned where not to sit, it has learned where to go and pee, it has learned who doesn't like it at all in the house, it has learned who is the favorite person in the house. What about the brain of our children? There's a lot that they can take on, facilitate the training, facilitate the learning as parents, as we guide. And also because we are guided by our Proverbs and Psalms 127:4. They are arrows. So the quicker we do what we are going to do, the sooner we'll send them in this world as powerful people, as people who create change. So the age limit only for JA is that programs that we run start from the ages of 9, and then Chaching program, and then the company program is for secondary school, and then the social equity is for the tertiary. So how do you know how the child is learning. Of course, how I know that the child is learning is following up with the teachers, speed dial on the teachers, constant visits with the teachers, because that is now the part of the teacher. Oh, learning the business. I don't know. Maybe I need to clarify. I don't know if she was asking about learning in school or learning the business. How I know that the child is learning about the business is their mind, what they bring out, what they talk about, and how they talk about it. Because there are ways of questioning them. That's why at JA, in many of our programs, we always have a space for checking, a space for examination, a space for instance, we'll have the money be on Chaching. The money be is when they come and we have a quiz and ask them stuff about money, about the stuff that we think they have learned. Sometimes we would ask them to create a skit on a specific thing. And then we get to know that, okay, they have learned or they are not learning. But it's evident, it shows itself if you want to know that, because their mindset will change. They'll even come to you and give you more. And this is a great idea for people who already have businesses. Take, for instance, if you have, say you're a farmer, you have cows, Persian cows. Make sure that before the mulal knows everything, that hard man, make sure your children know more than the mulal, because in the presence of you being absent, in the simple instance that you're not around, the mulalo will take over. Why? Because he's the one who knows everything. But if they have been running with you every day, then there's no way they are not going to learn about what you do and do it even without you. So why aren't we outside the national curriculum? We are in schools that have invited us. Please, the contacts are there. Invite us. We will not hesitate. We will be with you and we support your learners in whatever curriculum, because we are not about national, we are about all the curriculums, all the young people. That is it. Some are churches, some are organizations, some are where young people are. Basically, it's not that we only look at the national curriculum. It's just that we already have an MOU with the Ministry of Education, and it's easier to penetrate the schools as on the national curriculum, because that's where the majority of learners are. So, but yes, we are in Cresta International, we are in Sifiwe, and a couple of other international schools, Aga Khan, yes. I don't know if there was oh, what if I think the business is not achievable? Oh, anyway, at Junior Achievement, we have yes, and then we don't have but or no. So what we intend when we do our programs, we teach, even as when we come to, say you introduce the company program, we have the share certificate going for 1,500. This is for purposes of demonstration. So, but you go to a school and young people think they want to import cars. On this program, we don't say, no, you can't. We continue. Okay, so how do you want to import the cars? So the questions fall in. And as the questions fall in, they start to get the realization themselves, because you're selling shares to import cars. How much? Because our share certificate is at 1,500. So you'll ask them, okay, so how much will your share be? How will we capitalize this business? And then they start to look, okay, what do we need? As they are trying to put down everything they need, the realization falls on them. The big aha moment happens. They're like, So someone will say, no, my father, okay, but in share capital, that means your father is the owner of the business. Do you want it that way? No. So we teach the ability of, we teach them through the questioning and the next step and step by step until they get it from them. Because if you say don't, then that's not good learning or good teaching, because they have a mind and you allow their mind. Creativity comes from allowing the mind. I don't know if some of you have watched that Windmill Boy in is one of the success what's the country? Kenya. No, was it Kenya? Was it the windmill? The boy who made the rain. It's even on Netflix, and he was telling everybody, "Let's do this," from his creativity, but everyone didn't believe it is possible. So you might just think it's not possible, but on their mind it's imprinted. So when you support, we might get to where we want to get, because many great ideas have come out of that probing, that mindset, sharing, that coming out, until you get harnessing the wind. Thank you. That is Malawi. Yes, harnessing the wind. I had forgotten. And it's a true story of a young man who changed his community when he's when he created a windmill that out of rubbish and stuff, and it's a beautiful story if you watch it. And he ended up having to irrigate their crops instead of suffering because of no rains, and he changed their community. So in young people, there's a lot of knowledge. So we need to allow them, before you say it's not achievable, make him realize it by going through the steps, going through step by step.
Okay.
As JA, we run holiday programs. You could send them to us also. We run holiday programs. We will share a flyer. If you, maybe Rosemary, we could use your, I don't know how we contact the people after, but we can share a flyer for our holiday program, and they learn away from you, and then they will you can use what they have learned to understand, because in your mind, it might not be achievable, but in his mind it is. And you have to let the process be.
Okay. Thank you so much, Racheal, for responding to those questions. I like this last question and what you responded. Rosette, who was saying that how do you handle a situation where the child proposes a small business that you feel is not achievable or may not have customers? I think that asking them critical questions. So rather than stop them, because it's easy for you to just shut up this child and you'll have killed the entrepreneurial that seed that is in them. So ask them critical questions, but allow them, encourage them to go on and shape them as they go. Because what you may think that it's not achievable, but as they continue, they probably may be some business sense in it. So I think asking critical questions to our children, but also sending them to people like Junior Achievement, coming to Enterprise Uganda, so that the kids are helped to then nurture this nascent talent that they have or idea. So we have more questions. So Pamela Mutesi says, some of our children are really shy and we can't really figure out what they are good at. How do we navigate this? And then we have a question. Jennifer says this is wonderful and she wants to access JA. David Mwesije asks a question, and you touched on it when you were responding. He says, is backyard farming, such as raising chicken, keeping rabbits, or growing flowers, also part of nurturing children's entrepreneurship skills? And then we have Lillian is asking how to join the program. And then Rhoda says, thank you so much. I wish to make my girl join you because entrepreneurship is her passion and I have tried to follow it, but needs also more guidance from you. And then we have Masibo, who says, hello, how can we teach this to those who are not here? Is this program only for Abalinamu, or because we because we need to preach this program to the rural people down here? So how do we take this outside the urban areas? I think that's a very important question. And then finally, Doreen says, so in one of the JA company program books, I came across approved products and services such as air fresheners. And then there were non-approved products and services such as babysitting services. I didn't know how to explain it when the kids asked the meaning. Kindly throw some light on that. Maybe that's familiar to you, Racheal. So please throw some light on that issue. And I just want to say that the good news for us listening is that it has been tested and found out that it takes 21 days of repeatedly doing something or repeatedly doing or practicing a certain behavior for it to become your habit, and therefore it becomes your second nature. And so this ties in very well to say that if we allow our children to repeatedly do something, say saving or business, it just takes them 21 days for repeatedly doing it. And after that, it is a habit, it is second nature, and they will use it at one point in their life. It will be part of their nature. Okay, so over to you, Racheal. Please respond to those.
Okay, I think I missed one of the very first one, but I'll go to the next one.
About
Maybe
about the shy child.
About the?
Yeah, someone says that the child is shy. Some of our children are really shy, and we can't really figure out what they are good at. How do we navigate this? That's Pamela Mutesi's question.
That is such one of that shy child. I want to share a story of one of our alumni from J.A. German called Sarah Rapp. She's now the head of our alumni association worldwide. But she's this child that you're talking about. She was a very shy person growing up, even when she started the program. But what participating in such a program can help a child is that while they're doing the program, everybody participates. So we have learned from the schools, from the teachers, from the volunteers, from people who work with these young people in this program, that as they're doing the program, many young children, many of the participants bring their innate abilities that even their teachers didn't know. Someone might be has been a very restless child, and then they become different because it's something that we don't know as adults now, maybe only if we go back in our mind as young ones. Because, say, for instance, the shy one on a company program might be the one who is chosen to represent. And because in that area, he's the production manager. So because while they were doing their mini trial, he was picked as the production manager. And then it comes to him, because everybody speaks while we are doing a pitch session or while we are doing any of the competitions. So everyone gets to speak. We don't say one speaker, no. So everybody on the team. And even when the judges maybe visit the stall, you'll see that all the young people speak. Or even when the mentor goes to school to support on some area, they will be made to speak. There's a bit of being hands-on and practical learning is how very many of the young shy ones come out. Even the not so clear, not so confused, get some bit of clarity of what they like to do, because we hear things like, I thought I liked finance, but keeping people's money is annoying. I'm considering, then they kind of discover what they love instead of what they thought they want to do. Programs like Job Shadow expose them to careers, expose them to real business challenges, expose them to real work life, and many of them come out. So it's just to give them more time, to participate in programs like this. And before you know it, the shyness will not be what they are known for. They will have met their balance, because sometimes shyness is creativity running at the back end. Someone is thinking so many things they want to do, but they are not yet gotten a chance to break out. So anyway, but Sarah Rapp, you could check her out on her story and see she was a shy participant on the company program in J.A. German. So how to join? Please reach out, info@jauganda.org. We always come to you when you reach out. Usually when you reach out, it's not so easy sometimes, the capacity, but we do our best. Some of the alumni here, Stephen, I saw you are online, our pioneer alumni. Yeah, some of them are willing to spend time away and step away and support us as far as Bundibujo, as far as Katakwi, and because they've done the program, they are leaving the program, they come to you. So to join is to write to us and tell us where you are and how we will do this. Then we come to you and we see how to support, because this is our mandate also. And also, like Rosemary said, Enterprise Uganda, through them. How can we teach all who are not here? Spread the word, talk about it, share the link, go online and see the link and check and tell this person. We are so lucky that it's digital life now. Just go find Junior Achievement Uganda and share in WhatsApp and tell them you need to check these people out. And then they'll respond, I've seen them. When they do this, how do I join? Inform them of what you know, and then share back to us, send them info before you know it, we've reached where we couldn't have reached. Yes, I don't know if there was another question. The farming backyard. Oh, the farming at home, yes, is definitely one of the biggest ways to teach young people about business, because at least any of us can do this. And among our children, when you do a farming business, is where we have the best. For instance, if you had Skuma Wiki in your backyard, the best way to sell it without even finding a stall is asking your child to participate. Then they'll tell their friends, and their friends will tell their parents, and then there'll be orders to be sent by you. But they have done their part of connecting you, and please pay them for it. Otherwise, you discourage. You give them the commission, because that's you give them the commission. And listen, it makes life so easier for you as a parent, because when they want to do an activity, they have some money, because you monitor that as well. When they want to do an activity and you've been paying them, you stop being and they want to reach out all the time to give them. And guess what? It relieves you of some of the things you find people to do. Oh, I need to do ABC. Someone will say, can I do it, mommy? Can I do? I will. Then you interview them. It's not a job for just coming and say, I can do. What will you do? Then you talk to them. That is all continuous teaching them and learning, Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if there's another.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Joshua here was just, I think, adding on to what you say. He says one of the reasons children are shy is because of being raised by gadgets and little time to interact with parents or other people. That interaction most of the time takes away the shyness. I think that is very, very profound. This generation, the children are so much of gadgets. Our kids are no longer social. They can have other children visiting them, and then you come and find, instead of them playing, you find they're all seated and everybody has their phone. So they're in the same space, but nobody's making eye contact. So parents on this platform, we need to allow our children to interact, to make eye contact, to play with other children, to talk to people, because that would definitely drive away shyness. So I thank you, Joshua, so much for that. And then there are a lot of compliments and also questions for you, Rachel, from a number of participants who would want to connect with you. And we are going to share this presentation on email to all those who have signed in today. And so they'll be able to get your contacts and be able to reach out to you directly to see what you can do with them. There was a question, I think one last question here. Products. Sorry?
Oh, yes, Doreen. Doreen says the number of approved products. And Rosemary, can you read it again?
Just a moment. I'm trying to read out more questions for you.
I came across approved products and services such as air fresheners, non-approved products and services, babysitting services. I didn't know how to explain it.
Okay. Oh, yes. So, yes. Approved. Yeah, so Doreen
I think that is one of the older books. Doreen, I think that is one of our older books. We share them. That's the 2008 book. So this is the
Okay.
current book, and it has been updated with more approved products because babysitting services. But maybe because on the company program, there is no way that you're going to showcase. For instance, if we are pitching and you're pitching with your babysitting service, then that is what informed it, because then they were doing a lot of products than services. But I'll share with you the current manual so that because it doesn't have that yet.
Okay, there's a question from Faith Wangari, and Faith is saying, how do we raise our talents to help us in entrepreneuring ourselves? Because I have a talent in art and beauty, but I have nowhere to express it, as I think she's focusing on her course. So she's studying. And so I think talk about that, and Racheal, how do students who are pushed to make sure you're excelling academically, how do they create a balance between academic excellence and nurturing your talent, your passion, something that you think you can do within the school setting?
Yes.
I think that's the last question, and then we will.
Okay. Nurturing your skill sets on as you do your studies is a great possibility. And this, what I usually tell people, I'm just sharing now as Racheal, is that you must look at how things are done elsewhere. Because sometimes when we need to change how we do things, we learn from the best. It's like if you have your neighbor who is cleaner than you are, then you understand, okay, what do they do in the morning? First thing, they take the dustbin out, and then they sweep the floor. When you want to learn, you might look at your neighbor's place. And so on the same way, we must look at how it is done out there. That's why you see that currently we are having a change in curriculum, and we have to give it time to spread because it's just started. We are into our first examination of the ones who have gone through it. So by the time it permeates through and gets to be the culture, we need to understand that we are going to step up. Because currently now, why is the government saying, let's learn, let them learn by doing, let them learn the skills of entrepreneurship on everything. Remember that quote that it's not, that entrepreneurship, I don't know the exact, I can't quote it again, is an art, as a practice, So the thing is that we have to eventually, like, as a person, you need to make an understanding for yourself and understand that now that they are putting these two together, allowing everybody to understand that it's a practice, meaning that if you're doing a chemical course, if you're doing a medical, being a medical doctor, and because how many businesses come out of all of that line? So adding entrepreneurship and practical learning is what the ministry is trying to do now. And even when you go across the world, they are also struggling because now there's AI. People are saying the students they don't accept SSs for AI, but the students are saying, but everyone is struggling to now put what the proper methodology of learning should be. So for you as the person in the learning, you need to do a lot of checks and balances for your own self to understand how to run the two concurrently, because it is upon us. It is just starting. If they've started with the lower curriculum, it will go to A level and finally into the universities, because the ministry has to work on the curriculums and the understanding of how to do it and do it properly. But by the time they are making the change, it is the most required thing about education now. We need to teach, because at the end of the day, there's no amount of learning that is not going to be used somewhere.
Okay. Thank you so much, Racheal, for responding so well. I would like now to, well, as I bring this to a close, there's an interesting comment here from Pamela, who says, a lot of unlearning here. Growing up, we were told that sending us on errands and being paid for was spoiling us in quotes. So this is something to think about and change our mindsets on. Very, very true. And then lastly, do you have opportunities for volunteers? So are there opportunities?
Yes.
But again, do you have opportunities for volunteers? Because
yes, we are looking for
volunteer.
volunteers. Please sign up. Please come to us. Let me even put my
Your details are on
there.
screen, actually. Your details are on screen.
Please.
Yes.
Please come to us. We are looking for volunteers. We're looking for mentors. We're looking for people who want to share their story. And the beautiful thing about sharing is you learn and unlearn. It's a ground place for being young again. You stay like Rosemary because she's around young people full time.
All right. Thank you for those kind words. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much, Racheal, for sharing this. This has been very insightful, from the response from members, a lot of learning and unlearning to do from us as parents, from us as entrepreneurs. So this is an opportunity for us to change some things, to change the way we do some things. I think we now need to involve our children. In school, they are taught, but they need a place where they come to practice. So even though JA is supporting them in school, allow these children during holiday to have that balanced kind of, they study at the same time, allow them to continue with the entrepreneurship, because we know that in doing this, it's not really just about preparing them to become entrepreneurs, but giving them life skills that also give them an edge in the job market. Because as you practice entrepreneurship, you're building your muscles of problem solving, so problem solving skills, you're building your creative thinking, you're building your understanding of money and the value of hard work. Because it's also biblical that the Lord says he will bless the work of our hands. So our children need to know that our blessings, that wealth comes from the work of your hands. So we need to allow our children to start this thing early. I began by saying Indians understood this long ago, or Asians. They start early. You find a 4-year-old child in the shop with the parents the whole day, but they are learning how to make eye contact with people that they don't know. They are learning, they are seeing money exchanging and goods happening over the counter. And those are powerful skills, and that we need to expose our children to. So let us bring our children out. Let us involve them, take them, let them study, take them to JA, in their various schools, allow them to embrace that entrepreneurship and be able to give them the skills that will not just only support them in business, but also in the job market. Because someone may be saying, me, I don't want my children to be entrepreneurs. Okay, but even the job market is looking for children that have the skills that entrepreneurs have. And so allow your child to do entrepreneurship to be able to succeed in whichever sphere of life they find themselves in. And so as Enterprise Uganda, we are excited, and I want to again to announce every time we have this session, I thank those who created time today to be with us. This was the best decision you made this Thursday morning. And so we are sharing a link. It's already shared. In the chat, we have a link for those who want to sign up for our entrepreneurship training. Some of you here need to hone your own entrepreneurship skills. So sign up for the entrepreneurship training workshop. It's a 1-week training where it is an incubation. You get in there, you're given the skills. It is about start small, start now. And in 1 week, you actually have a business that you're running. So to prove that, just sign up and we should be able to reach out to you to enroll. We also have, we offer a complimentary business health check. Here is where we do an x-ray, just like you go to a doctor and say, I'm not feeling well, I have a bit of a headache. Or even you may just go and say, I've come for a routine check. And the doctor will look at you, examine your blood levels, examine all these things and tell you the health of your body so that you know what to do and how to take it from there. So we have a business, a complimentary, meaning free of charge. Sign up for that as well. The link is online and we will send you business counselors and advisors who will come and x-ray your business and tell you the health of your business. And then based on that, you're able then to see what needs to, which areas of your business are strong, which areas have some sickness and need to be supported. And then we can then walk with you that journey as your business mentors and business trainers. Yes, so thank you so much, members, for joining in. I'm sure everybody has learned something. Rachel, thank you so much for sharing selflessly. There's going to be a lot of, I'm sure you're going to get a lot of questions, a lot of responses. And so on our part, we shall share this presentation on email to every participant. And so encourage you all to reach Rachel directly and see how she can support your young people in your homes, in your communities, in your church, in your workplaces. I think we have communities of children all around, and these all need to be given exposure to this kind of thinking. Okay, so with that, I'd like to bring this meeting to a close and to appreciate everybody and to wish you an excellent, wonderful day as you reflect on how you're going to introduce your children to business early, as you reflect on how you're going to do things differently, treat your children differently, and ensure that we don't kill that entrepreneurship spirit in them, but instead support them. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. I'd raised my hand and before you say the final remarks, so I can say thank you so much. And thank you, Enterprise Uganda. You're really the real deal for us as Ugandans in this ecosystem of entrepreneurship. You are doing an awesome job, to get us connect, to get us do more, to get us spread the word, to get us change the trajectory of entrepreneurship around Uganda. So thank you so much. You guys deserve flowers. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Yes.
Thank you.